Shout out to Texas FBA Forever on Twitter for sending me this story right here that is coming out of Sacramento, California, where you have this woman right here whose name is Jazmine Bonnett, who is a black business owner in Sacramento, who was the victim of a hate crime, or her business was the victim of a hate crime. They pretty much shattered windows. She actually had the person who did it call her all kinds of B words. He called her Black B and made a lot of stereotypical references about black women. And if you can see behind her, it's boarded up because of the windows that were shattered. I'm gonna show you the pictures of what it looked like before they did it, like after the incident actually occurred. And they said that she was definitely the target of a hate crime. Now, if they actually had some kind of hate crime law in the books for protection of black people, they wouldn't have to question if it was a hate crime or not, because I don't know if they're going to question it or not, or they're just going to flat out say that it is. And also, people don't think that just because it says California, that there isn't racism out there. Remember, when I was doing the Sundown series on California, granted, I didn't do a lot of towns in California. There's a lot of racism that is out there in Cali. But before I actually get into it, the actual update that came from this, and I'm kind of doing it prematurely, they actually did catch the person and they did arrest the person who was responsible for this crime. They didn't reveal the identity of who the person was. They just said that they caught him, and it was a male who did it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this story. Well, luck would have it, the article that I pulled up about this actually does reveal the name of the person that was responsible for breaking into and destroying her shop and physically assaulting her. But let's get into it. It says a man was arrested and faces multiple charges, including assault, vandalism, and hate crimes after allegedly shouting racial slurs and attacking the owner of a business in the old Sacramento waterfront district. Ross Waffer, age 55, was arrested by the Sacramento Police Department in connection with the incident. Woofer was booked into the Sacramento County Main Jail Thursday evening, jail records show. Jazmine Bonnett, who owns the Blossom Bathhouse, said in a Facebook post Thursday she was the victim of a violent hate crime. Bonnett wrote that she was physically attacked and her store was vandalized by a man who called her racial slurs. Her post included photos of the front door of her business with shattered windows, deep scratches on her arm, and a shirtless man yelling at her. Bonnett said the man was taken into custody. County jail records show Woodford was booked on felony charges of burglary, vandalism, and assault, along with a misdemeanor count of battery and 2 misdemeanor counts of violating a person's civil rights. Notice that no hate crime was attached. See what I mean? Woodford is ineligible for bail and is due for an initial court appearance Monday afternoon, jail records show. No mentioning of a bail. None. I'm trying to see if I can go to another article and see if they mention it, but I doubt it. Another article says a man was arrested Thursday on hate crime charges. Oh, so he was. Okay, cool. See, that's why I had to go to more than one source, because if I stuck with that one, I would have assumed that they didn't give him any charges on hate crime charges. After breaking windows at an old Sacramento business, the Sacramento Police Department said. Blossom Bathhouse owner Jazmine Bonnett said she was still shaken Friday by an attack on her and her business. I was going to pay my meter here in Old Sac. As I'm walking to pay my meter, I overhear a transient talking to himself, Brown told Fox 40. That's where Bonnett said the man started to yell racial slurs. So I'm like, okay, I'm the only black person here on the boardwalk, so I do know you're talking to me, but I'm going to ignore you, she said. Bonnett rushed back into her store and locked the door, but the man followed her. He starts pulling on the door and telling me that he wants to buy a t-shirt from me. She said, I don't sell t-shirts. Bonnett said when she refused to let him inside, he kicked out her front door windows. I saw the crazy in his eyes and the hatred in his eyes, and he was calling me out of my name and asked me if I'm scared. He said, you scared now? And all this like it was pretty much out of a movie. Next door at Old Sac Shirts and Gifts, own Muhammad Asif ran out to see what the commotion was all about, and I saw the guy was running down to the side. Asif said. Bonnett called 911 as the man ran off. Soon officers arrested the man at a nearby bar. Police said he admitted to using methamphetamine. Following the incident, Bonnett posted to Facebook, "Today I became truly American. Unfortunately, I was the victim of a hate crime. I was attacked at my shop, Blossom Bathhouse in Old Sacramento. My store was vandalized and I was called Black N-word B, and I'm a little shaken up in shock. Some of the broken glass landed inside of Bonnett's store, forcing her to throw out some of her merchandise. I take pride in the ingredients of all of my products and glass not being one of them," Bonnett said. While she says she feels she was targeted because of her race, Bonnett told Fox 40 she would not let this encounter deter her from running her business. I'm still going to be my loving, caring self. Security-wise, I have a lot of family members that are saying they're coming in and popping in," she said. "It's not going to stop my show." Bonnett and other store owners said the incident should not discourage people from visiting and shopping in Old Sacramento, and that is typically very safe. A GoFundMe campaign has been started to help pay for the damages and the loss of inventory. And I'm actually going to post the link to that GoFundMe down below. As of right now, as of the date of me recording this video, her goal is $10,000, and right now she has raised $5,470. So I'm definitely going to post that along with the article so you can actually see for yourself, or donate so this woman can, get back onto her feet, and have that be taken care of. But see what happens when they say, black people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and that old trope that they like to use on us because they claim that we're so lazy and whatnot. And here we are doing our thing, minding our business, and you have fools like that, ignorant individuals like that, come in and do stuff like this to people's businesses. Let me show you a picture of what the damage looked like. Here it is. That's the window to her door, and it's another shattered glass right here. That's the damage that he did. And he probably did some damage inside as well. Let me show you another picture so you can see a more better imagery of the damage that he did. Black people can't have anything without people like that ruining it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's been eyeing her business for a while now, because she said she was specifically targeted. It was other businesses on that strip, but he specifically targeted her. And like I said, I read in some other places too where he was making comments about, I saw where he allegedly had said something about black women and their weaves and all kinds of stuff like that. Even though this woman doesn't have a weave in her head, she's wearing braids. But yeah, I'm glad that she's, okay. But this is also why a lot of people, if you own a business, you need to also invest in a firearm of some sort. Yes, I know that California has some of the strictest gun laws out there, but I actually read somewhere where they're trying to lift those, or they're trying to scale back on that or something or other. I forget what it was. Town Biz will probably be able to be the better person to tell you about that, because he's out in Cali, and that's something he's been talking about for quite some time on his channel if you watch it. But definitely invest in some kind of a firearm if you are a business owner of some sort, especially a small business owner who doesn't have a lot of security. So that's definitely something that she could, get, or a taser of some sort, something that can disarm somebody when they come in. Because I bet you if she had a firearm, she could have ran right back to where her firearm is in the midst of all of that's going on, and he would have ran out of that store out of fear of getting shot. Even if she had to fire a warning shot. But I'm glad that she's I'm glad that she's okay. I'm glad that that's not going to stop her or make her shut her business down and move elsewhere and try to set up shop elsewhere where it'd probably be hard for her to do. And I'm glad that, that they caught the person who did it. And I'm glad that they actually are putting hate crime charges on him as well. That's the most important part. That's why I had to read another article and said, let me see if there's another source that says that he did or if he didn't. I said, if I have to read another source and they say that he didn't get hit with hate crime charges, then 9 times out of 10, that's not what they're going to get him with. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.